Thomas, Toby, and Percy often joke about the time that Percy made himself look like a ghost to scare Thomas. But sometimes, when word gets around, it can cause misunderstandings, and can make just stories be believed as real events. "And did you hear about the time that Thomas got visited by a ghost that came to his shed?" said Neville, the day before Halloween. "Oh yes, who hasn't?" said Derek. "And I heard that it came to warn him about some gap in the viaduct." "Derek, what are you talking about?" said Dennis. "Are you sure it wasn't just a story?" "Well, surely you have heard about it," said Derek. "Everyone has." "Yes, but I tend to question things before I believe them," said Dennis. Then Connor chimed in. "Well, we've seen something, Caitlin and I, on the mainland." "Really?" said Neville. "What was it?"
"It was a steam engine, but its boiler was all torn up, and its boiler pipes was sticking out the front and twisted up into a face."
"Are you sure you didn't see something else?" said Dennis. "I really don't know what we saw, but all I know is that we saw it." Unluckily for the engines, Bill and Ben had heard everything, and they soon began plotting. At the end of the day, Neville, Derek, and Dennis had finished all their jobs and were preparing for a rest. Just then, the yard manager walked up. "Good evening," he said. "Now I know that you've finished all of your jobs, but we've just gotten some last-minute orders in, and you are the closest engines that I could find. So Neville," he said, "you ought to take some supplies to Bertram's mine, and Derek, you ought to take a rock crusher machine to Anafa Quarry, and Dennis, you ought to take a train of goods to Lower Tidmouth." "Do I have to?" said Dennis. "It's late," said the yard manager. "It's late and we all want to go home, so you cooperating will just make things all the much easier." "I know you're lazy, Dennis," said Derek, "but dare I say that you're a bit nervous." "No, I'm not," said Dennis. "Look, see, I'm going. Come on, we got jobs to do." But Dennis wasn't the only one feeling nervous. Later, Neville had dropped off his supplies at Bertram's mine. "Thank you for coming out here this late," said Peter Sam. "These supplies will be useful." No problem," said Neville. "I'm just glad this is my only job for the night." "Well, you have a good night," said Peter Sam. "And beware of the old warrior," he joked. "Who's the old warrior?" Neville thought to himself. He was getting ready to leave, but then he heard something.
"Neville! Neville!"
"Who's there?" called Neville.
"It's the ghost of the old warrior, and I've come out to go hunting."
Neville then became scared. "On what?"
"I'd best be leaving now if I were you. I wouldn't want to end up like the last engine who went into the mine and never came out."
And so he did. Quite quickly. Later, Derek arrived at the quarry to deliver the rock crusher machine. As he looked around, he found some of the sights of the quarry at night rather spooky. Then,
"Ooh, Derek."
Derek looked around to see who was there, but he couldn't see anyone.
"It's the lost engine of the quarry, and I ordered you to leave, or else the whole quarry will be brought down upon you."
Bill then dumped a load of rocks from above, and they fell right next to Derek. Derek was frightened, and he immediately pulled away. Finally, Dennis dropped off the goods at Tidmouth Halt. The delivery was just getting finished sorting out when from the tunnel up ahead,
"Ooh, ooh, tonight's not your lucky night, Dennis."
"Who's in there?" said Dennis. "And what do you mean?"
"It's not your lucky night, for I am the ghost engine of Tidmouth, and if you don't leave my station straight away, then I will come out of this tunnel to get you."
Who's in there?" said Dennis, now having second thoughts about thinking that it was just a trick. Ben then bumped a line of cars behind him, which was enough to make Dennis want to leave quickly. Bill and Ben then came out of their hiding places.
"Did you see how he ran like that?"
said Ben.
"Yes, I wonder who we can get next,"
said Bill. "I think we've had enough trickery for the night," said the drivers. "I think it best that we go back to the sheds by now." Then,
"I've never heard that whistle before,"
said Bill.
"Neither have I,"
said Ben.
What's that clanking noise?
The twins nervously started backing up as the noises started getting louder, until...
Ghost engine!
Bill and Ben reversed in the opposite direction as fast as they could. At the yards, Neville, Derek, and Dennis were discussing what they had all witnessed. And then, said Neville, it said it was going to come out and hunt me and trap me in the mines. And then...
It's coming! Everyone look out!
What? What is it?
The ghost engine! It's coming! It's following us!
Wait, you seen it? It's been following us too!
No, that was all us! But this is something else! This is real!
Then Fergus puffed up. What's with all the noise? He said.
There's a ghost engine coming! Look out, Fergus!
A ghost engine? Wait, do you mean that? Hello, is this Allsburg goods yard? Yes, it is, and you're right on time. Well, good, because I don't think this thing could take any more transportation. It's making this horrible clanking noise, and I think it's falling apart. What is that? Stammered Neville. It's a prop, said Fergus, for the Halloween party at Tidmouth Bay tomorrow. We had it specially ordered from the mainland. The mainland? That must be what Connor and Caitlin saw. They weren't making it up. So there was no ghost engine to begin with. How silly of us. And now what was that I heard about Bill and Ben? But the twins had already scampered away. The next day at the Halloween party, all the children and engines were admiring the ghost train. Even Sir Topham Hatt dressed up. And as the fireworks exploded overhead, the engines knew that ghosts can be real. But only if you make them to be.